The woman at the center of the biggest presidential scandal in American history, Linda Tripp, speaks out for the first time in over a decade. Tripp reveals shocking new details about Bill Clinton and Monica Lewinsky, and wait until you see her physical transformation.
I'm a witness in a federal investigation. I am not speaking to the media.
She was the woman who single-handedly almost brought down the Clinton presidency, Linda Tripp. The former White House secretary secretly recorded 20 hours of private conversations with co-worker Monica Lewinsky, exposing the scandalous Oval Office sexual encounters between the 21-year-old intern and President Clinton.
I did not have sexual relations with that woman.
Clinton would ultimately escape the entire ordeal mostly unscathed, his legacy largely intact. But the lives of both Lewinsky and Tripp were changed forever. Lewinsky unable to escape the spotlight or even find a job.
I lost my reputation and my dignity. I lost almost everything.
Tripp, meanwhile, was villainized for being a fair-weather friend and for her physical appearance, her size and weight a major target. She spoke about it with Larry King in 2003.
You had some work done, didn't you? Plastic work done?
I did. I had my eyes done and some other things done.
But now, 20 years later, Linda Tripp sits down exclusively with Daily Mail senior reporter Laura Collins to set the record straight, shedding her former image and telling her side of the story.
There had to be some way to make him the victim, and to make me the villain was the better way to do it. And then look, I looked like a villain. My way of dealing with stress is just to eat, and I did. I didn't even recognize myself when I saw the pictures and realized how far I had fallen.
When we come back, Linda Tripp reveals why she's calling Bill Clinton a predator, plus the personal toll she says it took on her 20 years ago. We'll be right back.
Next, more of our Daily Mail TV exclusive with Linda Tripp.
I wanted it to become public.
20 years later, she reveals shocking new details about President Clinton and Monica Lewinsky.
To me, he's a predator and always will be a predator.
Stay right where you are. Welcome back. 20 years ago, Linda Tripp was thrust into the center of the sex scandal that led to Bill Clinton's impeachment. It was Tripp who revealed the president's sexual relationship with 21-year-old intern Monica Lewinsky. Today, Linda Tripp says the headlines of women enduring sexual harassment has forced her to relive it. And she's speaking out only to Daily Mail TV and our senior reporter, Laura Collins.
Thank you for inviting us into your home, Linda. In the past few weeks, we've seen Bill Clinton accused by 4 women, and we've seen people who were his friends and supporters back when the Monica Lewinsky scandal broke, changing their stance and saying he should have stood down. Do you feel vindicated by what's happening?
Well, first of all, it's not about me. We should have had that dialogue then. I think a lot of things would have been different in the ensuing years. When the president gets a pass for something that egregious, he essentially gave tacit permission to all those who followed to do just the same. I think it's terrific that this is now considered the norm, that a woman can speak up without terror or fear of vilification.
Tripp herself was villainized for her decision to expose President Clinton's affair with Monica Lewinsky.
There had to be some way to make him the victim, and to make me the villain was the better way to do it. And then look, I looked like a villain.
Do you mean you looked like a villain?
Well, I didn't even recognize myself when I saw the pictures and realized how far I had fallen. My way of dealing with stress is just to eat, and I did. But seeing those images, this was the advent of the 24/7 news cycle. So you were seeing these images a gazillion times a day. And it was horrifying.
Your kids, how did they cope with it?
Oh, it was very tough on them. You know, they didn't talk about it a lot, but I could tell it was very painful. I mean, we were chased by paparazzi for months and months. Had to move, sort of abandon our house.
How did you imagine things would go down when you decided you would document things, which I think a lot of people, when they hear that, it sounds so calculated that they struggle with the notion of the betrayal of that.
Right. Well, to me, he's a predator and always will be a predator. She was an intern, a kid, who happened to be extremely emotionally young for her age.
Did you ever tell Bill Clinton that you were in love with him?
Yes.
You did. What did he say?
He said that means a lot to me.
Did he ever tell you that he was in love with you?
No.
With Monica, it just put me over the edge. That kind of abuse of a kid just was so unconscionable.
But was Monica kind of collateral damage then in your mission?
I didn't see it that way. Monica was threatening suicide on a regular basis. We're talking histrionics, the likes of which you've never seen. At work, at night. It wasn't me calling her. She called me hundreds of times a week, literally. What I saw for 2 years is nothing the American people could have fathomed. Yes, I knew it was going to be very painful for her to end this, but I also knew it was the best thing I could do for her.
When the grand jury asked, or when she was asked for the grand jury if she had anything else to say, she said, "I hate Linda Tripp."
Right.
Isn't she? When you hear those words, do you think she still hates you, or do you hope that that's softened?
I think that when you burst a bubble that large, this was an all-consuming obsession. I don't think there is any forgiveness.
Laura Collins, who spoke exclusively to Linda Tripp, joins us now. And Laura, she looks remarkably different. Just how surprised were you at her transformation?
I was amazed. I mean, it has been a complete transformation. And it mattered to her that people see her now, because back in the day, she felt that part of her being the villain was that she looked like a villain. She was vilified for it. She was brutally caricatured by John Goodman and SNL playing her. So it mattered to her that we see that now she's a very different woman and she looks fabulous.
Is she healthy right now?
Yeah, she's healthy, she's happy.
Most importantly, healthy and happy. That is what's most important. Laura Collins, thank you so much.